Well, today we're going to go through the seller price sheet in a little bit more detail than I did a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people ask us how we do the volume of properties that we do with the leasing to buy, and I'll show you how to do that with our lease option classes training. And one of the keys to it is having all your systems in place. And one of the important parts of our system is this seller price sheet. And now it's very simple, and you get a copy of this in your training manual, and you can certainly make changes to it if you'd like, and I'll show you how to do that as well. This is a great tool to use, very easy to use, to send this off to the sellers after they call you so you can get them some preliminary information. Now, we'll send out thousands of brochures to sellers, and they'll call us or email us, and we'll ask them just some basic information such as their address, how much they owe on the property, and what it's listed for. Then we put the figures together and use this price sheet to fill in with their information, such as their address up at the top there. Then we go through, and these fields are all field formed, and you can certainly change these, but these auto-populate as we enter the figures. And I'm just going to make up these figures here of $206,000, that's the lease option price. Then the option fee, this is how much we're going to get paid, is $6,000. And the next field is how much we're going to pay the seller of our fee, which is $1,000. In this case, we always give them some of our fee because there's no deposit. Then we take the 206 minus the $6,000 down and put that remaining amount here of $200,000, just to show them, to again give them an idea of how the figures work. Then we have the monthly lease payments, or the rent, in this case $2,000. Monthly rent credits, I'll put at $300 times 12 months. I want to see what the total is, $3,600. Then the next field is going to be the remaining amount. That's the $200,000 minus the $3,600 rent credits. So they can see where they're going to end up at the end of the day, which is $196,400 minus, of course, their closing costs, which we talk about down below there. So we'll see the $196,400 minus the $3,600 in rent credits. Then we just tab through there to go through after we fill that out, and you're going to see this auto-populate right there. Now this is going to show some really good information with the seller. Very easy to read too. It's going to show the total amount received at move-in by the seller. In other words, how much are they going to receive when the tenant goes to move in. And you're going to see here it's going to show they're going to receive $1,000 of our fee plus their first payment of $2,000, so $3,000 total. And then the total received at the end of the day is $196,400 plus their $1,000 they got at move-in, $197,400. It's really easy for the sellers to see where they're going to end up financially. So we'll send this off to the sellers, and then once we save this as a file, I save it to my desktop, save it as a file, then I'll go through and I'll create an email to the seller, put some verbiage on there explaining the figures, and then send that off as a quick email. And that's exactly how we get the information to the seller very quickly. Then we'll follow up in a day or two and see if they have any questions about the figures. Then from there we put the contracts together.